Hello, pre-calculus class. Just want to talk a little bit today about our identities. So in your packets you have this fundamental identities sheet. Why don't you pause for a second and see if you could locate it. I think it's the third page in. And today I want to focus specifically on what we call the Pythagorean identities. So those are these right over here, sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta equals 1, along with the other two. You already know the ones up at the top, but I want to focus on these three today to just show you where they come from. So, if we come over here to our unit circle and just think about the basics of our unit circle, we know that the radius is equal to 1 unit on the unit circle, and we also know that the ordered pairs around the circle are cosine, comma, sine theta. So the cosine of theta is our x part of the ordered pair, and the sine of theta is our y part of the ordered pair. So because cosine is the x part, what we really have for this x value here is our cosine of theta. What we really have here for our y part is our sine of theta, and since the radius is 1 of the unit circle, we have a 1 for our hypotenuse. So thinking about our right triangle math that we can use here, Pythagorean theorem. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared, or cosine squared theta plus sine squared theta equals 1 squared, which is just 1. And that's how we get this identity right here. To get the other two, we can just basically go off of this one here. So if we took sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta equals 1, and we divided each term by just say cosine of theta, we end up with, cosine squared theta, we end up with sine squared over cosine squared is tangent squared theta. Cosine squared theta over cosine squared theta is 1, and 1 over cosine squared theta is secant squared theta. So we end up with this other identity here, which you'll see again on this sheet right down here. If we went from sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta equals 1 again, so I'll rewrite it. And instead this time maybe divided everything by sine squared theta. We end up with 1 plus, now cosine squared plus sine squared divided by sine squared is going to be cotangent squared theta, and then 1 divided by sine squared theta is cosecant squared theta. So this is that other identity that you can see right on this sheet over here. So this is just a little bit about where they come from. They come right from the unit circle. And that's it for now.